Good night, everyone. How you guys doing tonight? Welcome to garden class, planter garden class. How you guys doing? Thank you guys for being here. All right, guys. Tonight topic is about organic. We're gonna go into a little depth of organic gardening tonight. How you doing, Matt Harkins? How you doing? Thank you for being here. Yes, I'm gonna go into the depth of. All right. I'm gonna go into a depth of organic garden tonight, and because organic garden is something special. It is something special. And I just wanna talk a little about organic garden today. Basically, what we're gonna talk about is what is organic gardening? What is organic gardening? This is a good question. All right. Most of us believe that organic garden is actually growing stuff natural without using pesticide and these kind of materials around your plant, which is, I believe that is actually correct. Organic gardening is the art of growing anything you plant in a yard or a garden without the use of any pesticides or synthetic fertilizer. Definitely. So basically, you actually growing your food without synthetic fertilizer and pesticides. So you actually growing your food in a natural form. You're using whatever natural you could produce for the plants. But once you staying away from the pesticide or the synthetic fertilizer, meaning you on the right track, you heading there, you driving on the right road because you're trying to get your food growing as natural as possible because you want the benefit. But going organic is about a lot more than simply just not using chemical. There's an entire belief system that believe that why organic garden home can be beneficial. We have a belief why organic gardening home can be beneficial. An organic home garden different from conventional garden because of organic gardeners take care of ensure the whole ecosystem is supported in a natural, holistic way. The benefits are plenty. And with just a little know-how, organic garden can strive virtually anywhere. Once you understand the process and how to use certain things and when to apply them, your garden could actually strive anywhere. Definitely anywhere. Hey, Urban Garden, how you doing? Thank you for being here. Yes. Yes, the benefits. So we're going into the benefits of organic garden. The benefit. The benefit of organic garden is a widespread because different people you talk to, different people have different ideas. So it's a widespread conversation. And go no much further than just yield from a season crop. They can include everything from water conservation to soil and environmental health to plant diversity. All of the benefit will generally fall into one of two categories. Either a positive environment impact or a reduction in consuming pesticides and chemical when food is eaten. So this is what's going on, guys. When you try to grow food organic, right? Listen to me, not everybody can go food organic. You know, not everybody have the space in the yard. Not everybody have access to certain things. So however you can do your garden, just do your garden however you can. Once you're able to get food, just try to do it as natural as possible, as natural as you can. All right? So when we talk about the soil, what organic garden also do for us is improve soil health. And soil health is very important, guys, because as a gardener, if you growing food on a regular, it's important to maintain your soil. It's important to maintain your soil because at the end of the day, you want to be growing food on the regular and every year. And the more you maintain your soil, the more healthier your soil gets. So the less chemical you add to your soil is the better, is more benefit you gain from your plants. So the soil, I always say, one of the most important thing in your garden is your soil. That's one of the most important thing. By adding natural organic components and regularly tending to the soil, organic gardens thrive in nutrient-rich bed that produce non-toxic, hardy bounties of fruits. So basically, by you trying to add organic matter into your soil, it's basically helping your soil. It's improving your soil. Now your plants can receive nutrients. You see what I'm saying? And able to give you the nutrients that you want for your body. So this is why, guys, I'm so into organic, because I've seen for my own self. I see the result for my own self that we can actually, the taste is different. After you eat, the way you feel is different. The strength, able to walk, able to function on a higher level. It's for real. Yes, guys. So the soil improvement is very important. The soil is important because it actually helps you as a person eat healthier, feeling better. And it increase in added organic matter to soil when preparing it for planting, also reducing soil erosion. So by you adding organic matter like the leaf, the limbs that you can able to add from the tree, all these things help keep your soil from getting this loose, and when the rain come, it just wash it away. It help hold the soil together. It help keep the soil from washing away. So it help prevent soil erosion. So it's a lot of benefit. It's a lot of benefit. And this is things I actually see for myself. These are things I actually see for myself. Your soil is on another level. And the thing about it, once you keep maintaining it, you see, you cannot just do it for one time. You got to continue. When you grow your food organic, it increase nutrients and reduce toxin intake. You see what I'm saying? Yes, we understand. Don't get me wrong. We understand that the air is kind of, we know all of that already. And we know how things go these days. But we as the individual, we got to do whatever we can do to try to do it as natural as we can. Why? We should try to do that as natural as we can. Because we don't know what's in the air and we don't know. So if we claiming that stuff is everywhere and then we keep adding, what are we growing? What are we actually growing? You see what I'm saying? So we want to, grow our food that it could increase the nutrient and reduce toxic intake. So instead of we eating food loaded with toxic, by growing your food natural, it increase the nutrients and reduce the toxic intake. Fruits and vegetables grow organically, thought to have a higher mineral and vitamin content when compared against non-organically grown varieties. They also are not contributing to the toxic intake that may occur when eating conventional growth fruits and vegetables that may be contaminated with synthetic pesticide and chemical used in the grow process. You see what I'm saying, guys? This is why I always talk about organic garden like this. This is why I promote organic garden in this form, because why I do that, I'm basically trying to encourage people to try. I'm not saying you got to do what I say. I'm not saying you just try to do it in a form that it can be more beneficial to you. The food can be more beneficial to you, more healthier. My thing is, I don't want to be just eating food because I can eat food. Whatever I eat, I want it must be able to give me what my body needs, the nutrients, the iron, the minerals, the vitamins. I don't want to have to go to a pharmacy to get a pill to help give me iron, to help give me vitamin, you understand, to help boost my immune system. My garden, our garden, supposed to do that for us if we grow in food. So this is why I promote organic garden growing, because for my thing is, for what I see for my own self, it's help and it's work. All right. Okay, so now we want to save money. This growing organic food can even help you save money. You see? Because let me tell you something. If you go now and you buy organic food and you buy, non-organic food, which one more expensive? The organic food. And all we know, they have on a label, but we have no idea how they grow because we didn't see them. But at the end of the day, you paying. Think about it, guys. You paying more for organic food than non-organic food. So then, if you have the ability to grow a little organic food, you should. Why not? You know what I'm saying? But that's your choice. That's your decision. If eating organically is already important to us, right? It will likely be cheaper to grow your own organic food. You see what I'm saying? We're also paying up to 30 to 40% more for organic label produce in a store today. You see what's going on? People actually paying 30 to 40% more for organically grown food today than the regular food. You understand? Because we get to understand that organic food are for more for our body. But at the same time, we not even sure if it's organic food you're buying. So all I'm saying is, it's not my job to tell anyone how to grow their food and what they should grow. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, if you could do it, why not? That's all I'm saying. If you can do it, why not? All right? If you can do it, why not? Okay? Not only that, added organic matter help to reduce soil erosion. It also conserve water, which is great in a drought condition. Well, I did a video with this drought condition where I show a video that my plants was going through at least 3 weeks without rain. It was like a drought. 3 weeks. And we was getting 80s and 90s burning sun, heat every day, and no rain. But not one my plant, all my plants survive. And it have a lot to do with how I plant them and what I put in the soil. It have a lot to do with the depth that I plant them, because when you plant them deeper, the sun take a longer time to get down to the root. So meanwhile the sun is penetrating, the root still able to feed from the dampness underground. So this is why I also recommend planting deep. It's important to plant deep because it helps save water. And if you're going through a drought, your plant could still be getting water because it's deep. Now, by adding the leaf, by adding the tree trunk, what happening is these things, when they break down and blend into the soil, when you mix them into the soil, it kind of keep water. It becomes a soil that's like a sponge, like it sucks water and it holds the water. So what happened now? So while you're going through the drought and the sun gonna dry it out. Yes, the sun gonna dry it out, but it's gonna take a longer time to dry it out, to get down to that root, than if you're not using these natural product in your soil, which is the leaf, the grass clipping, the tree body, the the body of the tree, and whatever you can use. Not everybody might be able to get body of tree and leaf, but use whatever you can. Because at the end of the day, by doing this, it helps your garden and it helps you as well. Because at the end of the day, you want, when you eat, you able to get your nutrition you need, your minerals, your iron, your vitamins. You're supposed to could get these out of your garden. We just got to take our time and just do whatever we can to get it there. You know? When you are a beginner, like when you say you trying to, no, you are a beginner of organic gardening. You're trying to do organic garden. You're trying to become an organic gardener. So now you're doing what it takes and you're trying. But you know, there's steps. There's steps to get you there. You know what I'm saying? So now you understand, you have an understanding of organic gardening. It may be a good option. It is time to learn how to start an organic garden from scratch. Yes, definitely. Organic gardening from scratch. Sometimes we in our garden and we realize, we look at our soil. And when we look at our soil, what we see? We see something that our eyes might tell us, no, your soil is not good and you need to add stuff to your soil. But sometimes you might be surprised that the soil you actually have is wonderful. Yeah, you might have the soil there and you have no idea that all you need to do is maintain this soil. Keep adding organic matter to this soil and keep it. Basically, you maintaining it. And by maintaining it, keep adding organic matter every fall. What you doing now, you creating a soil, the texture, the same thing I now was telling you about, that holds water, that makes sure the water stays in the soil. The water stays for a longer period of time. But if you want to, one of the first important thing, guys, the first important things you want to do when you start in an organic garden, especially for the people who have the space in the backyard. You might have trees over, you might have tree hanging over your garden. You might have areas that give you 2 hours of sun, and you might get areas of giving you 6 hours, 8 hours of sun. Well, I will tell you, the best area you want to go is where the sun gives you at least 6 to 8 hours a day is ideal, especially on what you're planting. Because the thing about it, some plants love shade. They don't love direct sun. Some plants love the shade, so they will strive under a tree. But there's some plants, peppers, okra, these plants thrive in hot, burning sun. They like the heat. Some plant, a little shade may be acceptable. Just a little. Some plant, they will strive well. Plants like lettuce and some of the herbs can tolerate partial shade. Lettuce could take partial shade. Lettuce, to me, and certain herbs thrive better in cooler weather. Lettuce don't like too much heat. They just, from my experience, they don't do too well. Even if a big tree won't shade the exact garden area you are planting, right? Roots may fight for moisture. So it is best to not plant an organic garden next to huge trees. Because, guys, because basically the roots may be fighting for moisture, but some trees, the roots, I wouldn't fight with the roots. What I'll think with is the shades. The shade of the plant, that's what I'll go and look into. The shade, because if the plant needs sun, You could plant it by a big tree, and once it get in that big sun, yes, the big tree. The thing about big roots sucks. So what they're gonna do, it might suck most of the moisture from the plants that you planted. But also these roots also let out a lot of organic matter, mineral inside the soil. So my thing is, make sure you have enough sun. Now we're looking about great soil, because now you want great soil. Nutrient rich and well-drained soil is essential for a strong garden. Then you want to start a compost pile and add in extra nutrients. You have, whilst you're doing an organic garden, guys, you have to have your compost pile. This compost pile is what's gonna help add nutrients. That's gonna help add nutrients, because when this break down, this is what you add in around your plants. So now this compost that you break down now, nature break down for you, now you adding that in your soil, so that extra nutrients you add into your soil. Good drainage. Make sure the site you will plant has good drainage, as that is critical for gardener. Because guess what? If my garden, I have a drain go right around at the top, bust through the garden, I have drainage set up. So when the rain pour down, the drainage gonna direct the water from washing away my garden. So drainage is important, because the thing about it, your soil need drainage. You see what I'm saying? So by doing that, getting the drainage for divert the water from rushing through your bed, that's a good idea. And the way you want to set up your bed, you don't want to set them up in areas where water settle. You see? You want the water must be able to drain, soak the plant, soak the soil, and drain out. All right? Now, you want to be distant. Well, I can't, you see, the distance from your house. I'm not even going to go into that. The reason why I'm not going to go into that is because not everybody has space. So I'm not even going there. You just do whatever you can. This is basically to, guys, I'm really heavy about organic garden. I'm not knocking anyone about how to do your garden. This is just the way I garden. All right. So I'm just giving the information to, if you guys really want to try it. This is why I try to show the result. So in case you guys want to try it, it's right there. You see what I'm saying? But you would not regret. You know what I'm saying? When we're talking about raised bed garden, right? Raised bed garden, basically for beginners, because I'm trying to basically for new people who now trying to get into it. You see, many people use different things to eliminate the grass from growing. But I really don't do that, because I see some benefit why I'm not even going to do that. But if you think it's too hard for you to maintain taking out these weeds, then you got to figure out ways how to keep the weeds from going on, not by spraying anything. It's about, you could take leaf, you could take straws, and just basically cover them. Like make on your walkway in your garden, even around sometimes some of your plants, you could kind of throw them around to kind of eliminate the growth of the grass. But I don't do that because I understand there's a lot of benefit to a garden. All right. Okay. So now, preparing the soil. Soil, when you're preparing the soil, guys, when you're preparing the soil, even though you see that your soil mightn't be something as you expect, or it mightn't be something that look pleasing in your eyes because of what you might hear or because of what you might see. But you might be surprised that you misjudging your soil. So what I'll say, before you start adding to your soil, what you need to do is start planting in the soil. You plant the soil and you test the soil. This is how you test the soil. You test the soil by planting. Then when you plant, you're gonna start seeing result. Now, what you can do in the fall after your growing season, you start adding organic matter in natural organic matter into your soil. Because organic fertilizer, it helps grow plants produce more. Plants will not produce as much yield as if properly fertilized with organic matter. I personally, when I plant my plant, I wait a month. Then I add compost to my plant. After a month, I add compost to my plant. After a month, I add compost. Because after you add the compost, you allow the plants to grow. You let the plant grow. You see? So when the plant growing, you just, after that plant grow and reach to that place where they start pushing flowers, that's when you give them a small dose of compost again. Because it became replenish the nutrients in the soil that the plants have already used up. So you got to add a little more when time to start, when you see they start producing on the flowers. Now, you have to pick your plants. As a gardener, you definitely got to pick your plants. You got to pick your plants and know exactly what kind of plant you're trying to plant or you're trying to grow. So you choose the right plant. It's important to choose your plant. It's important. It's an important part in planting an organic garden. And I will recommend choosing what you would like to eat or you will love to eat. You know what I'm saying? And you want to make sure you keep the season in mind. You know, we have cool weather plant that love cool weather, like agula or Brussels sprout. They won't do well in hot months. That's what I saw. In the summer, they don't do well at all. So it's really important to be sure that the plants you choose are in their right season. it's important that the plant you choose, you planting them in their right season, the right season when they will produce well, because some of them do not love heat at all. So they is very important. Very important. You know? You know, people you call, since organic gardeners use, the natural practice for optimal growth rather than applying, like the pesticides. You also could use companion planting that will help. Like for pests, companion planting will definitely help for your pests. So instead of you spraying, you using the spray, companion planting can help. And it could also improve the flavor. Because, like for instance, I just plant mints. I plant mints around my peppers. I plant around my tomatoes, around my okra. I plant mint around them for a reason. So I grow them in these areas, and the flavor that they produce is on another level. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I do. Basil, let me tell you something, and this is truth. This is truth right here. Hey, big dog Philly, what's up, man? This is truth right here. I plant tomato and basil together. I plant tomato and basil together. And listen me, I was astonished. You hear me? I was astonished how the basil was flourishing. And from that year, I saw that every year I plant basil and tomato. Try that, guys. Basil and tomato. The same place, you will be astonished. And guess what? Basil kind of repel, it kind of tomato, it kind of repel insect in certain farm. The scent of basil, I don't think insect love the scent of basil. I think it's also improved the growth. The basil with the tomato, it improved growths, and that's facts right there. And it grow flavor as well as it help prevent, like disease in your plants and them. Listen me, basil is an amazing plant to have in your garden. It's an amazing plant. It's an amazing plant. It helps add flavor to your tomato or your okra, like things that you eat in. Plant some basil around them, and it also help keep away pests, insects. Do your own research by trying for yourself, guys, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. We have plants. You see, let me tell you, this organic garden is something, it's so much you gotta know. So it's a process. It takes time. But guess what? When you get there, you will love it. Once you reach to that place where your garden has become organic and now your practice become organic, because once you get into organic gardening, You don't want to do anything that's not natural. Your focus is make sure whatever I do is natural. Okay? So now, when we talk about plants, we have plants, cold weather plants. Let's go into cold weather plants for a minute. Now we have some of these cold weather plants. They grow in cool weather. They love cool weather. So let me name out a few that I plant and they strive well. We have carrots, we have lettuce, we have peas, we have radish, we have spinach. These plants strive in cold weather beautiful. So now we hit in the fall now. We into the fall now. And because we into the fall, this is good plant. This is good plant you want to start getting ready. So if you have your seed, start setting your seed because you don't want to go buy from the store. Now, as an organic grower, you have to start saving your own seed because you ain't supposed to, seeds start to get kind of thing right now. So you want to have your own chain of seeds. So you start saving your seeds. So what I'm saying now, you ain't got to worry about the cold weather. So now is a good time to start setting seed for lettuce, carrots, peas, radish, spinach. That's good. This is good plants to start growing for the fall. All right? Good plan to start growing for the fall. Carrots, lettuce, peas, radish, spinach. Beautiful. You also could plant garlic. You also could plant onion. All right? So keep in mind, you could start getting your seed together that you can plant these cold weather plants that can strive in cold weather. There's a lot more. You have cabbage, you have broccoli, you have cauliflower, you have Brussels sprout. You have a lot of them. So keep in mind, they all can survive under cold climate. All right? Don't try to plant pepper and okra and these things because now we head into, these plants love hot weather. So we talk about colder plants that love warmer weather. Warmer weather, you could use basil. Basil, you could use green beans, marigold, sunflower, tomato, zucchini, squash, okra, peppers. These plants love hot weather. I can name many more. I can name so many more. But these plants love hot weather. So if you know that the garden season is getting to a place now, so if you know the cold weather is approaching, watch what you plant. Plant stuff that can deal with the cold weather in case the cold weather come on, it would not bother the plant. Don't go into the hot weather plant because you're not going to get much out of them. Okay? All right. So let's talk about, the pest control for a little minute. Remember we're talking about organic gardening, guys, and we're not using no form of chemical. You see, my thing is what I use for pest control, I use the birds. I allow the birds to walk in my garden for me and help eliminate the pests them. That doesn't mean pests not gonna come in your garden. Yes, they will. They will be in there, but the board's gonna help. So before the pests eliminate your plants, the board's gonna attack them. So yes, they might get a chance to do some damage, but the boards help my garden, saving me from worrying about thinking about what to spray. Something I used to use before, I used to use vinegar and water, which works. It definitely works. But so, you know, you do an organic garden. I don't want to introduce no kind of chemical because I don't even know about them because I don't use them. So fighting pests, companion planting. Companion planting is one great way to keep bugs, pests away. I'm sure there's a number of homemade or available for purchase. I'm sure, but it's got to be chemical free. You see, when you're talking about organic, it got to be chemical free. It cannot have chemical. So even though, like for instance, someone told me what you could do to help keep pests away, you could grind up some pepper in water. You understand? In a bottle, shake it up and spray. That's organic, that's natural. I never do it, but maybe one day I might try just to see for myself, just to see if this works, because this is what we do. We learn. So at the end of the day, if you're growing pepper, organic pepper in your garden, and you decide, okay, this pest is really doing too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my own product. So before I recommend pepper and water, I got to try it first. I cannot tell nobody to use it. Someone tell me about it, but I never use it. So before I could say, all right, use pepper and water, I got to try it first, okay? But one thing I know that works, vinegar and water, it works beautiful. But my thing is, sometimes you got to create your garden in, let boards, set a place in your garden that boards could land. Set a place in your garden because that these boards could feed off of these worms, these eggs that the butterfly lay. Most of the pests in the garden come from eggs. They comes by eggs. Something come and lay them on the plants. So if you're able to encourage the birds them around your garden, don't run them when you see them. Just let them be. They will eat these eggs. They will eat the worms. Remember, in garden season, this is when birds actually having young ones. This is their time of having young ones. So these birds, these insects, they love to feed off of them. So try to do that, so that will help eliminate any form of spraying. And then what you add to that? Companion planting, which is an amazing thing to keep bugs and pests away. Oh, yes. The next thing again, guys, water. How you gonna water your plant? The truth is, I don't water my plant. The only how I will water my plant, and I only use rainwater. I don't use the pipe water and them kind of stuff. But the only how I will water my plant is if I now plant them. And then the sun and then the sun is booming, because remember, these little plants, their root in that far, you know what I mean? And the sun could really penetrate them, their leaf. You know, the sun could penetrate their leaf and the sun could just dry them out. So in that form, I might get up in the morning or in the evening and wet them. That's the only how. Once they start growing, they start showing me a sign of the catch. I'm not wetting them. But not many people do it that way. Right? So now you need to have a water schedule. When I say a water schedule, when are you going to wet these plants? Most of the time, after I plant, the rain come, or the soil might be wet. I love to plant when I know it's supposed to rain, or it's going to rain after I plant it. You do not plant in the morning in the summer. Well, I don't plant in the morning in the summer. If you're doing that, it's best you plant in the evening. So they have that nice cool weather for deal with all night. But if you plant them in the morning, and then they got to deal with that heat, all through the day, you could lose them plant. So to me, the best time to plant in the summer, in the spring is kind of different. In the summer, the best time to plant is maybe in the evening. And if you realize it ain't gonna rain or what, you wet them. You plant them and you wet them and you just let them do their thing. But the best time to plant in summertime is actually in the evening after the sun goes down. And sometimes we plant young plants, and what we do, we just pour the water, we just flood them with water. No, you don't need to do that. All you need to do is just make sure, where you add the water, you just make sure that it's damp. And let me tell you something, especially container gardeners, you don't just pour water in the container. All right? You don't just pour water. You don't just pour water. You just try liquor water, because you don't want to pour too much water, because sometimes what you do, you're washing out the nutrient out of the soil. You see what I'm saying? You're supposed to just wet the plant, that the container is wet. Not for it to pour and run out of the container. No, you're supposed to just wet it in a form that the plant able to get some water and the soil is wet. Not for it to run out, because it actually destroying they're taking out the nutrients and the minerals out of the plant. Most vegetables should be watered about an inch a week. I personally, guys, I don't water before. I'm gonna just say for people, you see, that actually do it this way. So I basically depend on the rainfall, because the rainfall do take care of it. And then when you create your soil in an organic way, what happening is that helps keep the dampness into the soil. So the water ain't just running out when the rain come. It actually sucking the water like a sponge. You see? So while the sun penetrating, you still able to get water. This is why in a drought situation, you still able, your plants still able to survive in organic compost. It stand a better chance surviving. You know, right now we're doing a lot of harvest. I don't know, I should I do this part for next segment? Should I do this for next segment? But I mean, this is a pretty long video, but anyhow, harvest time. Right now, we actually doing harvest time. We're doing a lot of harvesting now. We in actually July, August. So we in August. So we have 1 month before the fall, right? We have 1 month before the fall, at least 1 month. So now we're doing a lot of harvesting, which we know the best part of any garden is harvest time. Reaping the reward of the time and effort that goes into growing. The garden make it all worth it when come on harvest time. It all worth it, man. When you're able to go in, harvest, you're able to go in, eat fresh vegetables from the garden. Oh, yes. And the truth is, garden are the gift that keep on giving, because the majority of our plant will produce more as you harvest. You know, some plant just keep producing. Like my pepper plants them. My pepper plants them actually don't stop harvest. Don't stop produce. They will produce ongoing. And that's wonderful. This is the joy of harvesting. The plants keep on giving. Majority of plants, the more you harvest during the peak of the growing season, is the more they produce. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You know, the thing about organic gardening, guys, it's about maintaining. You got to maintain. I don't care what nobody say about when come an organic garden, because I'm not just here talking. This is facts, and this is what I see with my own eyes. Maintaining an organic garden, just like you would do a regular garden, you got to maintain it. You see? Weeding and harvesting regular is important for the best result. So weeding, basically cleaning the garden, is important. It is important. Like me, I don't really pull them up. What I do, I actually like take off the top and just leave the root to grow with the weeds, because I understand the benefit of these roots. So I don't pull up the roots, I leave them. But what I do, I take off their top, and guess what I do at the top? I throw it in the compost pile. You see? And after the season is over and the garden is finished for the year, there are few more steps to take to keep your garden, your space ready for the next season. Yes. So after you go through your garden season, after you harvest everything, some of the plants that's still there that dries up, sometimes I just break them up and throw them in the bed and just leave them. Then sometimes I go, I get these leaves that fall in under, I just get them and I spread them out in my compost, in my raised bed. Then I add some soil on top of them and I just leave them there. So all through the winter until the spring, then when the spring comes, then I start planting. So that's maintaining. That's maintain. I use the spring to maintain my garden. I did a lot of crop rotation. I did so many crop rotation. And this is when I understand where in the garden each plant that I grow strive best. That's where I realize where each plant in the garden strive best by doing crop rotation. Crop rotation is a method that's proven. I did it and it's work. So it's a fact that crop rotation is important, very important. Crop rotation is something that what you do, you plant, you move every season, you move the plant that you plant and you put them in different areas. So say you plant the tomato here and you plant your herb garden up there and you plant your peppers and you plant your okra. What you do the following year, you take them and you rotate them. You see? It also help your soil. It also help your soil. Crop rotation also help your soil. Because sometimes you might grow a plant in a certain area and that plant drain that soil. The plant takes so much out of that soil. You see? No, you got to, this is why maintaining your soil is important. What I do now, before I used to do crop rotation a lot until I understand what is going on and I see what is going on and I see the importance of maintaining your soil. So even this crop drain your soil in the growing season. By you maintaining it, it's going to add back what that plant take. It's going to add back the nutrient. It's going to add back the mineral, the micro. It's going to add back all that. So once you maintain, that's the key. That's the key. The truth is, guys, I cannot recommend any organic product out there because I don't use them. You know what I'm saying? I now make my own organic fertilizer and it's working really well. I now make my own organic fertilizer, which will be available in November. I know for a fact it's 100% organic. That's what I know. But I cannot really tell you, okay, guys, go and get this product out there is organic. I can't tell you that. I only could tell you my product is organic because I take the time, the effort to make it. So I can't promote this product. You see? And keeping your garden clean is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? I try to maintain. You see the thing with an organic gardening, especially when you're growing a lot of food. When you're growing a lot of food, organic garden is kind of challenging because, especially when it's rain. When it's rain, these weeds grow like, real fast. These weeds grow real fast. So you might clean up this area. By the time you reach over here, them weed over the start growing. So it's kind of challenging. But I rather do that than spray anything in my garden. I rather do that. You know, I think the reward is greater than if you spray in your garden. I think the reward is on another level. But guys, this is how I grow and maintain my garden. You see, I make sure every year in the fall, I don't do too much planting in the fall. I plant as much in the spring that could last me right through the winter back to the spring. But I do not do too much fall garden because ain't too much you can grow in the fall, and what you growing, is them leafy plant, and then maybe some carrots, but I don't do too much. I use it to maintain. I use it to maintain the soil. And I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing how your soil could transform. I'm telling you. Let me see. Also, and then I'm going to say this and then I'm going to end it. Yes, I think I give a lot of information tonight. Guys, if you come in late, you should go back to the top because I'm telling you, it's a lot of information has shared in this live tonight. Yeah. Sometimes, guys, I'm going to say this and I'm going to end it. Sometimes, right, we doing gardening, and I mean, sometimes you don't have the time. And I do understand that. Not everyone have the time and able to go in a garden every day. Some people get up all in the morning, go to work. Some people come back in the night. And then they only have time on weekend. Then on weekend, they're tired. They got to go, so I understand that. So I'm not going to push it on anyone. All I'm going to say is sometimes in your garden, if you see dead leaf, pull them off, just take them off. Because sometimes some of these leaves have the little disease or whatever, and that disease could transform to other plants. So by getting rid of them, it helps prevent the spreading of these disease. Tomato plant, you should prune your tomato plant, get rid of the dead leaf. I know sometimes we're busy, yes, I understand, but the truth is getting rid of them sometimes help create a better airflow for the tomato, and they're able to breathe, and then it's a better chance of not getting disease. Squash. This year, squash is very challenging because I'm seeing different type of bugs I never even seen before this year. And they're really feeding on the leaf and the vines. So now you got to go in. If I ain't go in and make sure I pull off all them leaf, if you ain't take the time to go in and take off all these leaves, what's gonna happen? They're gonna destroy your crop. So you wouldn't be able to harvest any squash. So I'm just saying, guys, it's very important to walk through your garden, pay attention, get rid of these dead leaves, put them out your garden, and let your garden thrive. Well, guys, this was a very interesting topic tonight, and I'm very grateful that you guys come out tonight and be here with me, because I'm telling you, what I share tonight is a lot of information. And this is basically about organic gardening and the way I do organic gardening. My thing is, I'm not here to really, you know, make anyone feel any way. This is just the way I do my gardening. So I'm just sharing it. So if there's anyone who interested in growing food without adding any form of chemical, you at the right place. I have over 1,000 videos, 1,200 videos on this channel that you could definitely learn something from. And I do go live every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight, I also do garden class for the members of the channel, but tonight was a bonus. I actually did it for everyone, not just members tonight. This class, I did it for everyone because I appreciate everyone. I appreciate each and every one of you for your support. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. And if you're still here, please don't leave without you hit that thumbs up. I will truly appreciate it. And guys, you guys have a blessed and wonderful night. Peace, love, and blessing to each and every one of you. All right? Peace. See you guys next time.